Hello, dreamers. Welcome back to Dandelion Daydreams. Today, we're going on a magical journey into a world where even the tiniest person can have the biggest adventures. It's the enchanting tale of Thumbelina. So snuggle up and let's begin this tiny but mighty story. Once upon a time, there lived a kind woman who longed to have a child of her own. One day, she visited a kind old fairy who gave her a special barleycorn seed and said, "Plant this in a flower pot and wait for something wonderful." The woman did as she was told, and soon a beautiful flower bloomed. As the petals gently opened, there, sitting inside, was a tiny girl, no bigger than a thumb. She had golden hair, sparkling eyes, and the sweetest smile. The woman named her Thumbelina. Thumbelina lived happily in her cozy walnut shell cradle, singing songs and playing among the petals. But one night, as she slept, something unexpected happened. A big, ugly toad saw her and thought, "She would make a lovely bride for my son." The toad snatched Thumbelina and carried her to a lily pad in the middle of a pond. "You'll stay here until the wedding," the toad croaked. But Thumbelina was heartbroken and didn't want to marry the toad at all. Luckily, the fish in the pond had been listening. They didn't think Thumbelina belonged with the toads either. With gentle bubbles and flicks of their fins, they nibbled the stem of the lily pad until it floated away, carrying Thumbelina downstream to freedom. Thumbelina drifted through the water, past waving reeds and blooming flowers, until a graceful butterfly helped her float even farther. But her adventure wasn't over yet. A beetle spotted her and plucked her from the petal. "What a curious little thing," he said. But the beetle's friends were not impressed. "She has no wings," they buzzed. "She doesn't look like us." Feeling embarrassed, the beetle let Thumbelina go, and once again, she was alone. Seasons passed. Summer turned to autumn, and Thumbelina built herself a tiny shelter from leaves and petals. As the snow began to fall, she shivered from the cold. That's when she found a warm burrow belonging to a kind field mouse who welcomed her in. The mouse took care of Thumbelina and soon introduced her to her neighbor, a wealthy, grumpy old mole. The mole decided he wanted Thumbelina to be his wife. He didn't like sunshine or singing or flowers, things Thumbelina loved most. But the mouse insisted, and Thumbelina, though sad, agreed out of gratitude. One day, while walking through the mole's tunnel, Thumbelina found a tiny swallow lying still on the ground. "Oh no," she whispered, "he's hurt." She cared for him tenderly, bringing him food and wrapping him in leaves until he got strong enough to fly again. The swallow thanked her and said, "Come with me. I'll take you away from this dark tunnel to somewhere full of sunshine and flowers." But Thumbelina didn't want to leave without saying goodbye to the kind mouse. The day of the wedding came. Thumbelina stood in her wedding gown, her heart heavy. Just then, a soft flutter echoed through the tunnel. It was the swallow. "Hop on!" he chirped, and without a second thought, Thumbelina climbed onto his back. Together, they soared into the sky, far away from the dark tunnel, over forests and rivers, until they reached a land of never-ending spring, where flowers bloomed all year and the air was filled with music. There, in a glowing blossom, lived a tiny prince with delicate wings. He was no bigger than Thumbelina, and when he saw her, he said, "You're the loveliest flower I've ever seen. Will you be my queen?" Thumbelina's heart fluttered with happiness. She said yes, and the prince gave her a beautiful new name, May Blossom. Together, they lived in the flower kingdom, surrounded by birds and bees, sunlight and song. And the swallow? He visited them every spring, telling the tale of his brave friend to everyone he met. And that, dreamers, is the magical story of Thumbelina, a tiny girl with a giant heart who found her own way to happiness. If you loved this tale of courage, kindness, and blooming new beginnings, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a magical moment with Dandelion Daydreams. Keep dreaming, dreamers, and we'll see you in the next adventure.